Hello everyone, and welcome to the review for week 2. And then after I review some of the grading issues that came up during week 2, we'll look at what's expected of you for week 3. Alright, first of all, I want to tell everybody that you should be logging in and looking at the announcements. That's where I post what's changing, what's happening in the course, and I expect that if I haven't heard from you, that you understood the announcement, you read the announcement, and you had no further questions. So I will hold everybody to that. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with our week 2 review. You had discussion questions. The problems that we had with the discussion questions, you're still having problems with spelling and grammar. I did provide a tutorial video in the program resources section of the classroom. If you go down to helpful tutorial videos, how to write your discussion in Word, it's right there on top, and you can view that video. It's also located in the announcement section. You can write your discussion in Word, complete a spelling grammar check. Now, spelling and grammar check will not catch everything. However, it will catch most of it, and it will also teach you how you should be writing and where your mistakes are occurring. So once you do that, then you copy the writing from the Word document and paste it into your discussion thread. It takes a little extra effort, but it saves you a lot of points, unnecessary points of deduction for spelling and grammar. And if you're not understanding APA, now again, for discussions, the reason you use APA is that you're utilizing information from the textbook. Whenever you do that, you have to cite it because you're using someone else's, in this case the authors of the textbook, Mitchell and Heron. You're utilizing their information, their writing, their research to make your point. So whenever you do that, you have to cite that source, letting your reader know that you're utilizing somebody else's information. Then below the discussion post, you should have a corresponding reference to that citation. So if you have 2 citations, you should have 2 references. And what the reference does is it lets your reader know that if they want to know more information on that subject, that's where they go to find it. Okay, so your APA resources, there are several APA resources listed. There's a 6th edition quick view, APA template on how to write a paper. That's for your week 1 and your week 4 paper. This is the one you should be looking at, your references and citations. If you go in there, there's a PowerPoint. If you go to, I think it's slide 6, it shows you how to format a citation for 2 authors. So in this case, for your textbook, that's what you would be doing. And then it also shows you how to format the reference. There's also a video that will help you with your week 4 paper that you should be starting this week. And we'll go over that in a few minutes when I go over the week 3 requirements. So utilize these resources because you are going to need APA to get through the program. I'm trying to expose you to it now so that when you get to English composition, you're not fighting, because you're going to be doing much longer papers there than you are here. The other problem we have with discussions is that people are not reading the questions completely and understanding what the question's asking. For instance, in the first response, they asked you to list at least one way that you can help to break each element in the chain of infection. So what we needed was you to identify each link within the chain of infection and then at least one way to break that. And if you weren't on track, then I asked you a question to redirect you. I provided the a figure that's listed in the textbook that displays all of this information and redirected you to go look at that, and then you respond to my post, and then if you're on track, then I'll let you know. If you're not, then I'll reword it to try to get you where you need to be. However, most people didn't even respond to my post, and I'm doing this to help you. So when you don't respond and you're not answering this question thoroughly, you're going to lose points because you did not answer the question thoroughly. So I'm trying to help you, but you have to take that help. Spelling and grammar. Some people did not make the minimum 4 separate posts on 3 separate days, so you lost points, and with that you will lose points on all the sections, because it's not fair to the other students who were graded on their 4 posts for the 100 words per post. So if you're only posting 2 posts or 1 post and you have 100 words, is it fair that I give you full credit for that 1 post even though everybody else had to do 4 or more? No, it's not. So you will lose points there. You'll lose points for your contribution to discussion, as well as spelling, grammar, and everything else, because everyone else is being graded on 4 posts or more. So I have to be fair about this. So make sure that you're posting the required number of posts. Again, this is meant to be a discussion amongst you and your fellow students. I'm there to facilitate and direct. So it's great that you're responding to me, like I just said, to redirect you and get you to answer the questions. And if I see something that I need, that I think that maybe we can further discuss, then I'll say that as well. But you need to read your fellow students' posts and respond to those as well, because it is meant to be a discussion. All right, that's enough said about that. Your week 2 assignment, everybody pretty much did those. There were a few people who forgot to do them. Again, you can take that as many times as you like until you get the score that you are happy with, and it gets you ready for this week's assignment, which is the OSHA assignment. Now this week's assignment, the OSHA assignment, you have to score 70% or above to pass the class. So make sure you can retake that as many times as you like as well. The quiz, some people didn't complete the quiz again. Not sure why. When you go to week 2, in this case for next week it would be week 3, it tells you everything you need to do, your discussions, your assignment, your quiz, your week 1 assignment. So it tells you everything you have to do. So I don't understand why people say, oh, I didn't know I had to do that. You need to go and look at that. And then the week 1 written assignment. Some of the problems we have with that are some people are not understanding APA. Again, go back to the APA resources. If you, after you review that, you don't understand it, give me a call and we can discuss it so I can help you understand it better, why we need it, and how to utilize it. There should have been a separate reference page, and some people didn't do that. The problem-solving assignment, most of you got the assignment. There were some issues with, so here's why we do this. You're going to be assessing patients, so they're going to be coming to you with a problem. So now you need to gather as much information on that subject. So for instance, if say my problem was, say I was just diagnosed with cancer, I would want to know everything I can about that cancer that I've been diagnosed with. So I go to all these different sites and articles and everything that I can to gather as much information about what the cancer is, how it's treated, all of these other things. And then once I have all that information, I can create alternatives, several alternatives that I can look at to choose from. And then from there you have to choose one or a hybrid of alternatives to act upon. And again, you have to act upon it to make it work. Otherwise it's just a plan or an alternative. And then from there, how are you going to evaluate it, and what time frame are you going to evaluate it to see if you're successful in the choice that you made, or was it not so successful? And then you revise that plan. I think I used the salesperson example that they set their goal to increase sales by 80%. Well, you have to figure out what your base sales are at the moment, and then in 3 to 4 months, if that's the time frame you give yourself, measure it again. Did I make the 80%? If so, great. If not, what do I need to do to revise that goal? Was the 80% an attainable goal, or do I need to adjust that? If it was an attainable goal, what did I not do to get there? So what do I need to revise? So that's what I need to know, and that's what you will be doing as a medical assistant. And even as a biller and coder, you're going to present her with problems, and this is one way to figure out and solve these problems in your personal life and your professional life. What else with the writing assignment? I don't think anything. So let me go on and move on to week 3 because I have little time left to discuss. So this week you need to do reading assignment chapters 12, 13, and 14, lifestyle management, professionalism, and lifelong learning. View the Kaiser Live session so that you get the information needed. Your discussion post this week, what they're asking you to discuss for the first question is describe how diet, physical activity, sleep, and preventive measures contribute to healthy living. Feel free to list examples of healthy living in your own life. So this is a fairly easy one. Make sure you address all 4, diet, physical activity, sleep, and preventive measures, what they mean to you or what they are, and then how do you incorporate that into your life, or how do you not incorporate that? What can you improve upon? And again, read your fellow students' posts and respond to them as well as to me. Response 2 is read and review professionalism in chapter 13. In your own words, what does professionalism mean to you? Now, in your own words means based off of your reading and what you've read and you understand, what does that mean? And then in addition to that, you'll find 3 different paragraphs. One is titled Professional Behaviors, one is titled Professional Healthcare Skills, and one is titled Professional Appearance. What I need from you on that is to provide me with at least 3 examples from each category. So under Professional Behaviors, I need 3 examples. Then tell me in your own words what that example means to you and how you'll incorporate it into your professional life. Same thing with Healthcare Skills, 3 examples, what it means to you and how you'll incorporate it. Professional Appearance, 3 examples, what it means to you and how you'll incorporate it. Alright, so that's your discussion. If you have any questions, please give me a call on that. And then you have your OSHA assignment, which again, you must score at least a 70% or higher. Right here it says must earn at least a 70% on the assignment. There is no time limit for the assignment. You can take it as many times as you like until you receive the score that you're happy with, but again, you have to score 70%. And then you have your quiz for the week. So make sure that you do not forget about your quiz. Alright, so we talked about discussion grading. So I'm going to go over the discussion rubric with you so that you know exactly what you're being graded on, and if there are any questions, please contact me. So the quality of posts. What I'm looking for is are your posts reflective, thoughtful, and respectful? And does each post contain at least 100 words or over? So make sure that each post contains at least 100 words. Not hard to do if you're really talking about a subject, not hard to do. Relevance to topic. Did you clearly answer the question? Was it thoroughly answered? If not, I will try to redirect you like I said, and you respond to me and you get the right information, you'll get full points for that. If you've got some semblance of what's going on but you haven't completely answered, then you may be getting a good. The contribution to the discussion, as I've said before, you have to have 4 separate posts on 3 separate days. If you give me 4 separate posts on 3 separate days, you've met the requirement. That means you get a good, so 15 to 19 points. If you post above and beyond, where it says participates beyond the required number of postings, and that you're furthering the discussion, then you will, and it's on 3 separate days, you'll get 20 to 25 points with an excellent. Now that being said, posting thank you is not a post. I appreciate it, but you need to have some substance to it. So if you're posting to another student, tell them why you agree or disagree respectfully and let them know what's going on. Then the last is spelling and grammar, as I've said, and then whether you had a citation and reference in your post. At minimum, you should have your textbook. Alright, so that covers the grading rubric, and if you have any questions, like I said, please contact me. We can discuss, and I hope you guys have a great week. Thank you.